Welcome back to our channels, Warriors. We are still growing. If you haven't had your padrina, smash that subscribe button. Go and have her smash it right now. First and foremost, let me give a shout out to the following patrons. New Boot, Miguel, AI Vega, Jon Wick, Fio, Claudia, Miguel, Let Our Actions Lead Others to Christ, Big Bad 48, Nova, Jack, Linda, Michigan Wolverines, Marius, Chevelle 66, Abuelitas Journey, and DAUSHERRERO. If you have not already signed up for that Patreon, make sure you do in the comment section below. Next, let me give a shout out to that retired CO and the Jabs for coming through on that live last night. Thank you very much. This episode right here, man, I don't know how this one got away from me, right? I don't know how this one got past me. There is so much going on in this incident. I need you guys to keep track and follow along. It's complicated. As you guys know, I did 16 years with the California Department of Corrections, starting as an officer, sergeant, and lieutenant. 2 different prisons, Centinela State Prison and Donovan. Working at Centinela, it was autopilot. It was routine. Yeah, it was violent, but it was no shenanigans, right? No tricks up the sleeve. Meaning, if you had a 2-on-1 stabbing, right? If you had a 2-on-1 stabbing, you're going to have 2 suspects, 1 victim. The officers are going to show up. They're going to use force to quell it. The inmates are going to get decontaminated. They're going to get put in handcuffs, right? They get put in handcuffs and decontaminated. They're going to go to holding cells. They're going to say no comment, no comment, no comment. Did you do this? During the 115, the rules violation hearing report, yep, guilty, LT. That is black and white. That is straightforward, right? Now, let me tell you about Richard J. Donovan Correctional Facility. Wow. Here we go. There I was. Every good story starts with there I was. There I was drinking my coffee, minding my own damn business in my office, Delta Yard, SNY level 3. Okay, there is nothing normal about Donovan. Nothing normal at all. Meaning, at a regular prison, you have officers, sergeants, lieutenants, captains, and regular. Hard-barred, right? Donovan, everybody is acting, right? Acting a damn fool. Everybody's acting a fool, right? You have acting officers. What do you mean acting officers? You have acting sergeants, acting lieutenants, acting captains. What that means is they are not actually in that role. They are acting in that capacity. So you can be a sergeant acting as a lieutenant. You guys are following along. I already told you this one's going to be complicated. I had an acting sergeant that day. And I know what you're thinking. Oh, every prison has actors. No, I'm talking about everybody's an actor, right? Nobody knows what they're doing. It is out of control, right? It's part of the problem. They should just hire. But they hold so much personal vendettas that they hold up the list, right? They don't hire them because of that. There, I said it. I said what I said. There I am, drinking my coffee. I already told you guys, I had a rapport. I had a rapport with staff and inmates, meaning I was able to communicate with these people, man. It's not so hard to talk to people. Apparently it is to some, right? Inmate T, we'll call him T, right, as in tango. I had a rapport with inmate T. Right, I already told you guys that I've never been to prison, that it's not cats and dogs in there. It is definitely not, well, sometimes it is when it cracks off, but it's not cats and dogs on a day-to-day operation, right? You build rapport, you build communication skills, you quell a lot of fires, especially if you have good supervisors. You don't want them to be knowing much. You don't want them to be working much. So you take care of them, they take care of you. So you quell problems at the lowest level, right? Communication. It's huge. Inmate T and I had a good rapport, right? You had two other inmates, right? These two other inmates, I don't even know who they were prior to this incident. These two other inmates were from up north, Northern California. I don't know if they were Norteños. I don't know if they were Northern Riders or at one point Norteños. I don't know. I really didn't know who these two were much. Delta Yard, formerly known as the 4-Yard. The 4-Yard, for those that knew it back in the day, right? I did a video on back in the day stories yesterday. Housing units 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20, right? Your normal 270 design. You got your sergeant's office right there by the plaza gate. It's chow time, evening. I got an acting sergeant. Good kid, right? Good head on his shoulders. But he's brand new to the job, to that role. He's brand spanking new. I think it was his day one. It was his first day. It was his first day of acting sergeant, no less, right? That's how brand new to the position he was, for sure. And I'm aware of this, right? I'm aware of what's going on. I hear an alarm in housing unit 20. Code 1, multiple inmates fighting, housing unit 20, right on the radio. Man, drinking my coffee like this. Code 1, God damn it, man, right? Click out of Amazon, close out my Amazon account, right? Gonna buy the latest protein shake or something. You guys want to know what Big Green be doing? So I stand in front of the program office, right? Like an OG lieutenant, right? Like the old school back in the day, right? Because as a lieutenant, you're the incident commander. If I have never even said this, as a lieutenant, your role, I really never talked about my lieutenant time because it was just a title to me. I didn't take the position and the rank so damn serious that I was going to suck a dick or sell my soul, right? Like the people up north. Not the Norteños. Don't get it twisted. Sacramento headquarters. I'm not here to be disrespectful to you guys. To them only. Wow. Here we go. Your boy is standing out there watching inmates get escorted. I was going to say one by one, but yeah, they're starting to get escorted outside of the building, right? Like a clown show. Next thing you know, by the little latrine area, I see an officer, a good kid too, man. He's tussling with the inmate. The inmate is like handcuffed, but the inmate is yelling. I can hear him yelling across it echoes in a yard. He's yelling. Now they're wrestling. I can hear stop resisting. Oh, man. They do a little merry-go-round, right? The inmate goes into the fence. The inmate and the officer both go into the fence. Like right there. The dude's resisting. He's yelling profanities. The officer's yelling, stop resisting. And boom, he goes into the fence. Then I go, well, damn, there it goes. There wasn't an incident before. It's definitely an incident now, right? Use of physical force, right? They go down. I see another inmate get escorted. I'm like, what in the world is going on here? Right? What the heck? Oh, it's not over. This is just getting started, let me tell you. I'm like, man, this kid is probably going to need some help, right? This kid is probably going to need some help with this unruly inmate. I start walking over there. I look at the kid, right? Like I said, this kid was a good kid, man. He had a baby face. He had a pretty boy face. So all the inmates would always test this kid, man. And they didn't win. They didn't win against this kid. And he was just doing his own thing because I used to watch a lot of the cameras. The EOPs used to come up to him and just cuss him out for no apparent reason. The mentally unstable inmate. And they would lose every time, over and over again. So I kind of knew this little kid had it. And I keep calling them kids, but that's how I viewed them, right? Youngsters. See the acting sergeant come out escorting somebody, and then I see inmate T, right? And he looks at me, and I look at him, and I'm kind of like wondering, like, not that the inmate was always on his best behavior, or he was, what do you want to call it? If he was exempt from committing crimes, right? He's in prison. Kind of look at him like, hey, the hell is going on here? He looks at me like, I'm going to holler at you, right? Talking to me like I'm a homie. ALT, I'm going to get at you. ALT, can I get a minute of your time? So I'm like, okay, something's transpiring here, right? What the hell is going on around here, man? My evening is ruined. There's like 4 inmates that got escorted out, man. I'm like scratching my head. I walk into the building, right? These inmates are going to get escorted to, where did they go? To the clinic. I think probably one to the program office, the sergeant office, and then the gym, the holding cells in the gym. I know for sure 2 inmates are yelling profanities and out of their minds, right? Kind of probably smell Pruno in the air, right? I'm starting to gather all the facts now. Everything was so chaotic at first, right? It usually is. I walk inside, ask the officers in the building, like, hey, what happened? Oh, and that's such a good thing about developing a rapport with your staff and open line of communication is that they'll just straight tell you if they trust you, right? They're not here to lie or whatever. Well, some do, but we're not even going to dive into that. It's not part of this story. ALT, like, hey, these 2 dudes came drunk from Chow. They were at Chow. They were drunk. They were disrespecting staff at Chow, right? We just figured, I'm like thinking, damn, you should have never let them out of the cell. Like, should have never let them out of the pad. I guess they didn't realize it till it was too late, right? Then it was too late. I'm telling you, Donovan. They came back. They were being disrespectful to the control booth officer, cussing him out in the day room. Oh, my God. Cussing out the control booth officer. Here comes inmate T, right? Tells those 2 guys, hey, just take it in, right? Mind you, this is an SNY yard. This is a sensitive needs yard. So, inmate T used to belong to the Southern Hispanics, right? He was in his former life, you want to say it. The other 2 guys were from up north, I believe, right? That's what it sounded like. I had never seen them before. I don't think they were on that yard long. Rightfully so. Look at how they were behaving. Rude. Ruined my coffee. Inmate T, that's what I liked about Delta Yard. Great experienced staff and OG inmates. Inmates that did not want their program messed up on that yard. Believe me, inmates would try to come and mess up the program, but the program would get fixed, right? It would just fall on top of their head. Tells them, hey man, just chill out, just take it back to your cell. Those 2 go off on him physically. They start taking flight. Oh, man, this is a wild one. I told you guys this was going to be wild. They start taking flight on inmate T. Bah, bah, bah. Inmate T's fighting. Lo and behold, you have another inmate run towards this scene and get involved to help inmate T. We'll call this one inmate H. Inmate H and inmate T are now 2-on-2 smashing those 2 individuals, right? You have officers responding. Get down, get down, get down. They're smashing these inmates, so they're getting bloodied, right? They're getting bloodied. Man, I remember those 2. I remember everybody's name, man. Because it was a pain. I went under investigation over this stupid incident, and I'm going to tell you about it. He bloodied, right? Now you got officers pepper sprayed everybody, all 4 involved, right? You had 2-on-2 that started over drunk inmates. Then inmate T told them to relax. They didn't relax. They wilded out instead. pepper spray is ineffective. And if I've never mentioned this in a video before, pepper spray is not 100% reliable. Matter of fact, it might not even be 50% reliable. How many times, if you've seen somebody fight through pepper spray or it not affect them at all, hit that like button, right? Sometimes it doesn't affect people, especially if you're drunk or who knows. Now you got the officers and the inmates smashing those two drunk inmates. What? Okay, that's not what was happening, but you just imagine, right? Now it's like, I'm telling you, Donovan was freaking wild. This whole situation was wild. I did not appreciate it. So you had two drunk inmates that got out of control, drunk. You had the inmates smash them, then the officers come and smash them too, per policy, right? The batons got used. These dudes were not fighting. They were possessed. And I'm going to get you how they were possessed after this or during this. Now, boom. All stories are adding up. Talk to inmate T, tells me the same thing. Talk to the officers, they tell me the same thing. I'm looking at these two drunk, irate inmates. It's all adding up. 2 + 2 is equaling 4. Oh my God. Central Control, be advised, staff assault, Delta Gym. Staff assault? What the fuck? How? Why? No, my God. Now I'm not getting home. This is third watch. I'm not getting home till midnight, 2 in the morning. Man, the fuck? I go over there. I see that brand new sergeant walking toward me with like spit and blood on his face. I'm like, oh, fuck. That's my sergeant. That's my sergeant, right? If he's out of the way, now I got to do all the work, right? What you're thinking. Damn, Hector, you're cold. You're cold for that one. I'm like, bro, what the fuck happened? Oh, LT, I got too close to the cage and he spit blood in my face. Oh, fuck. Oh, I want to go back to Sentinella. So bad. I made a mistake. God, I'm sorry. I'll put back the money I ever stole in my whole entire life. I promise. Get me out of this place. Holy fuck. Before I could even embrace that young kid and take him under my arm like a mijo, right? I'm like, oh, man. Jesus. What? No, I got other staff members looking at everything, right? The alarm blaring. Now I got medical in there. I got Satan in the holding cell. This guy's talking about the devil. I am the devil. You guys are going to listen to me. Oh my God, man. So here comes my hostage negotiation skills, my verbal communication. Hey, man, chill out. All that time in the hostage negotiation academy, I tell this guy, hey, man, chill out. Right? Relax. It's over, right? It's over. You've done major bed, man. This dude's bleeding, right? He's bleeding because he got socked up by inmate T and inmate H, right? He's pepper sprayed, right? He got hit by batons, right? I mean, the scene, talk about an incident packet. Talk about an incident packet as a lieutenant. Nobody gives the lieutenants enough credit. Man. This dude, I'm possessed. Hey, man, relax. What I'm going to need from you right now is for you to, what I'm going to need from you right now, right? Because you already spat, is I'm going to need to put a spit mask on you. Right? Because, hey, nobody was getting near this guy. The medical were not getting, and rightfully so, man. I wasn't even near this guy. I was within llama spitting distance away, right? Llama. I'm going to need you to put on this spit mask. Well, they tried to tell me he was Satan a couple more times. I'm like, you know what? Right? I had already said, go get the shield. Go get the shield. Meaning the plexiglass shield, like the riot shield. We're gonna do an emergency cell entry. We're gonna smash them, but we're gonna get in. There's a whole process that has to happen. This inmate has to go be seen by medical. Number one, he's drunker than shit. He can probably pass out, die of alcohol poisoning, I mean, this dude was out there. He's battered, bleeding, right? It's like, go get the shield, man. I'm telling the guy, hey, we are going to come in here. We're going to get you. Or put this spit mask on, man. It's like not that hard. Like, this dude's out of it. Finally, right? You got, all eyes are on me, man. You got everybody. You got responding staff in there, man. There's like a standoff in the holding cell. My coffee rush went out the window. So, I convinced the dude, put on the damn spit mask. He puts it on, right? With the ETV, the emergency transportation vehicle, the little ambulance inside of the prison that comes to the yard. Comes, put him on the gurney. Me being a smart lieutenant, I'm like, hey, start taking pictures of him. Put him in the recovery position and start taking pictures of him. Why? This recovery position's on your side, because the last thing that I'm going to do is get arrested if the inmate dies for asphyxiating, right? He had already got pepper sprayed, bleeding, but he spat blood in the face of the sergeant. And I know what policy is, Dom. So I'm like, hey, it says you can do it, right? You can do that. Put a spit mask on if they've been exposed to chemical agent, but you got to take it off when feasibly so, or when appropriate. Put the spit mask on them, right, to prevent everybody from going to prison, right? Green. Hey, I took like 100 pictures. Like, there's your boy. Well, I didn't, but hey, get it. Look, we're trying to save this dude's life, right? We were. Ain't trying to end up in prison over somebody that couldn't handle their own alcohol. That's crazy. So they go out to the hospital. The sergeant goes out to the hospital. The officer, man, is just, oh my God. Fast forward. I ask inmate H, right? The one that helped inmate T. I'm like, who are you and where did you come from? Like, he hadn't not been on that yard long. This dude had just came from Calipatria State Prison, home of the level 4 killers. Look it up. It's all over YouTube. They be killing each other over there. It's off the hook. Damn, they don't play. He's like, hey, LT. Like, very respectful, very, hey, I just came from Calipat. Like, this homie looked out for me when I showed up here. Gave me like some hygiene when I didn't have it. When I didn't have any. My property hadn't arrived yet. I see this homie take off on these two, so I just followed suit. I just jumped in. I'm like, well, I could respect that, man. I could respect that, you know. This guy had heart, right? He'd be paying the favor, right? You see the guy gave him some hygiene. He brand new, right? I told you not everybody that lands on an S and Y yard is trash or garbage per the definition, right? Definition meaning bad paperwork or rat or something like that. Politics gets people gaffled up. And I'm not going to dive into that before politics gaffles me up. So I said, I could respect that, man. I see what you did. I see what's going on here. Check this out. Okay. Right. What do we have? We have a fucking mess is what we have, right? So basically what we have here is 2 inmates that got drunk, right? Strike 1. 2 inmates that battered 2 other inmates, right? When the other inmates were just telling them go into the pad, strike 2. And then the same 2 inmates battered officers. Man, that's what I was trying to tell you about Donovan. You can't just have one incident. It just snowballs and it's wild. So that's how it goes down, right? That's exactly how it went down. Lo and behold, man, I'm getting investigated by OIA and Ames, right? The other bullshit they made up. Like, hey, this inmate is saying, right? The drunk one, the one that was possessed by the devil, so he said. This inmate is saying that the sergeant hit him in the head with the baton, and lieutenant, that he told you that he got hit with the head in the baton, and that you did absolutely nothing about it. Like, when I tell you there's nothing normal about RJD, there's nothing normal. You can't even go to work and drink your damn coffee and shop on Amazon. You can't do it. You can't do it because you get sucked into some BS, right? And that's BS because the inmate never told me that, right? Had he told me that, there is procedures in place. There's policy that I would have had to follow, right? So if I know he's lying about allegedly telling me that he got hit in the head with a baton, now I'm getting upset. Then this dude clearly didn't even get hit in the head with a baton, right? I've seen people get hit in the head with a baton. So, yeah, now I have to go under investigation, right? Get interviewed. Did he tell you he got hit in the head with a baton? No. Did he tell you he got hit in the head with a baton? No. Baton hit inmate head, you? No, stop asking me the same damn question 5 different times. My answer is no, it never happened. If it did, I would have followed policy. It's not that hard, right? So the moral of the story is, right? So we all got investigated, right? We all got investigated. They investigated inmate T, inmate H, right? I asked him too, hey, did they talk to you? He's like, yeah, they talked to me, LT, but I didn't say nothing, man. I don't be saying these people are wild here. I said, I know, man, I know. The moral of the story is, man, is that had I not developed a rapport, had I not had an open communication skills, right? I mean, there was a lot unfolding. Had I not known who was who, what was what, everybody could have all just got lumped up into one big incident, 4 inmates fighting. What difference would it have made to anybody else, right? What difference? I mean, a lot of times that does happen, right? Unless you're privy into running a yard, it's not gonna bother anybody if they just write everybody all up for fighting or participating in a riot. But that wouldn't necessarily be cool. You know what I mean? That's what I'm getting at. So, communication skills, man. Don't be a dick. That's the message for today. Keep pushing forward.